Coach, around the end of last year, you said that there wasn't a doubt that as long as this team stuck together, that this season would be a regional team. Do you feel the same way heading into this one?
I said that?
You did.
Can you rewind that tape for me, please? No, we have all the pieces in place, I think. You know, we've got, even though it's a young team, it's an experienced team, which is a pretty unique quality to have, is young and experienced at the same time. But, yeah, we got enough players in the lineup. I think we got enough pitching that if we can manage to stay focused and play with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, I think this team is pretty capable of doing some pretty special things.
Anyone in mind taking over with Huth gone? Was it Hill last year that got some reps at center?
No, Braden Zarbniski got some reps in center last year. Kyle Gray moved around a little bit out there. We feel like we've locked down that position pretty well right now. We've got about 3 candidates that can go out there and run around there pretty good and run down some fly balls. So when the ball goes up to center field this year, I feel pretty good about the fact that it's going to be an out.
Last time I spoke with you, you had not really put any full-scale work in, getting outside. How was the last 2 weeks in the progression?
It's been unbelievable. We've been outside more this year than we ever have since I've been here, and we've been out way more days than we've been in. So, and that's super important for guys to see fly balls with the sky in the background instead of a roof in the background. So we've been very fortunate this year so far.
Coach Sabins was talking about Marcus Inman, who's a returning guy that's been making some strides. Anybody else really standing out to you?
You know, they all do. All these kids that had success last year are a little bit more physical than they were. That's the year of growth between your freshman and sophomore year, and those guys are bigger and stronger than they were last year. Marcus being one of them. Darius Hill has gained some weight. Cole Austin's more physical. Jimmy Galuski, believe it or not, has gained some weight since last year, and that's going to help him. So this team's done everything we've asked them to do so far, physically and mentally and preparing. Now it's just time to go out and play a different team and see how it all comes together.
What are the goals coming out of the first series or two for you guys, besides obviously win?
Yeah, you know, you always want to learn early about what guys can do and who's going to fit what role, where guys are comfortable hitting in the lineup, the new guys that are going to get their feet wet, how comfortable are they going to be. You know, the lineup, the first game of the year is never the same as it is the last game of the year. The last game we played against TCU in the Big 12 championship, we went back and looked at that lineup compared to the lineup opening day last year, and it wasn't even close to the same. So we have some depth this year, position player-wise. So there's going to be a chance for a lot of different guys to get in the game, and you know, opportunities might be a little bit hard to come by for these guys because we have so many guys to choose from. So looking for the guys who, when they get in there, take advantage of it and make it really difficult for me to get them out of the lineup because we've got a lot of options this year, I think.
You mentioned the mix of youth and veterans on this club. With a year like last, where you wrap up home play with 9 straight wins, you nearly earned the automatic bid with the Big 12 championship. You also had the lull against Canisius and Fordham. What can lessons like that do for a club heading into a new one?
That's a huge lesson. That's something that was fresh in our mind. You know, you can go back and look at those games last year, and one game could have made a difference in us getting in the postseason. So I think if we play this year with that in mind, that every game means the world to us, and play like you're out there to prove to people that you belong in the postseason, then if this team plays with that type of energy and passion, then I think we'll be pretty good. Has yet to determine if they're going to do that yet, but I feel really good about them. We've challenged them pretty good, and they've responded to every challenge we've given them, and I don't see why this one would be any different.
Who do you see moving into the closer's role with Blake Smith gone?
It's hard to say. You know, the big boy Alec Manoa from Florida, he's a big specimen. He's 6'6" or 6'7", and he's a big kid that really attacks hitters, and he's very capable. He's going to get his opportunities at the end. And Braden Zarbniski has thrown really well in that role at times in the fall and spring. So between those two guys, it'd be nice to have one of those two on the mound at the end of the game with the lead. Jackson Sigmund, the side armor, he's going to get a lot of innings late in the game. I know it'd be nice if he could fill a setup role and flip the ball to those guys when the game's on the line.
Any concerns rotation-wise? I know with Donato leaving and Ross Vance, and I think Hardy might have had some starting time. What's the rotation looking like heading in?
You know, I really like our three starters. I think that might be the strength of this team with B.J. Myers and Michael Grove and Connor Dotson all have experience at this level and success at this level. So early on when their pitch counts aren't real high and we can't extend them, we're going to find out who can come out of the bullpen. But once those guys get in the flow of things, if they stay healthy and can go out and throw 100 pitches every weekend once the weather warms up and their arms capable of handling that, then that could be the strength of this team because they're all three throwing the ball really well right now.
Teams often have a certain persona. Is that something that you can feel going into the season, or is that something that develops gradually as the season progresses?
I mean, with a bunch of new guys, you'd have to develop it. You know, our persona, I think, is going to pick up from where we left off last year. You know, we were playing with some confidence going into the conference tournament, and these young kids were just playing hard and having fun, and if they continue to do that, it would be nice to know that that team that we finished with is the same team that's going to show up in the spring. And now they tasted the success. What they can't let it do is go to their head and feel like that we're going to be good just if we show up. You know, we got to keep doing what we did to have that success, and that's what we've been trying to beat into their head. You know, you got to once you have success individually or as a team, you got to keep working harder to even have more success. So that's kind of been our focus so far.
Is Myers the emotional leader of that rotation, or is there anyone else that's trying to pick it up and go with it?
Yeah, Myers is an emotional guy. So, yeah, if you had to pick an emotional leader, it'd be him. But they're all three throwing the ball really well. Connor Dotson, we feel like, is a different guy this year. He's gained some weight. He's really throwing the ball well right now. And Michael Grove finished the season as one of the best pitchers in the Big 12. So if he can make a jump from where he was, then, like I said, I think our three starting pitchers are going to keep us in every game.